As part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Welcome to Dig on America, where we speak truth to power. Every week, we give you the dig on how American history, policies, and media created the social and political issues we face today. DOA is independent media supported by listeners.
But the first kind of other story I wanted to talk about here, and I'm going to play a video from Fox News. So
your favorite.
My favorite place in the whole world.
He has a Fox News tramp stamp in his lower back.
I do. Yes.
It's like Roger Stone's tattoo.
He's got Sean Hannity's.
It is.
Rush Limbaugh's like signature. Like he got him to sign his back, and then he like went to the tattoo spot and they tattooed it real quick.
It's Newsmax. Sorry. Yeah. I go harder. I go home. But I'm gonna play this. Male vitality. I'm going to play this for you, and I don't believe I talked to Ben over at the Young Turks earlier today and asked him if he could give me his feedback on this because it is related to the trans community. He has not gotten back to me with his thoughts on that yet. So for those who are going to ask, did I reach out to a trans individual on this? I absolutely did. Our friend Ben over at the Young Turks. I haven't heard back from him yet. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to take a quick at this. It is a couple of minutes long. But so if anybody wants to pause it, we can. And I don't know if I'll play the whole thing or not, but let's get into that real quick here, because this is really astonishing, especially considering where this came from. So this is the tweet right here. It's from Brian Lanas. As part of our America Together LGBTQ Pride Month series at Fox News, we highlighted the story of Ryland Whittington. So here is that video.
Is this a good video or not?
You will see.
Reading the captions and I'm confused.
Have some faith.
No.
Okay. It is Fox, though.
Yes, it is definitely Fox.
I don't know if you
we got hit with a stupid ad here.
Oh, here we go. You didn't even preload the video. Come on, man.
No, I sorry.
Pause.
In case anybody wants a fat bird.
Yeah, you guys are getting to see a GoDaddy ad. All right, here we go.
For a fat bird.
It wasn't even Danica Patrick. You gotta unmute it, homie.
Of transitioning at age 5 has been seen by 7 million people in a family YouTube video. Brian Yannis has a story about that family that hopes their experience can help others. Watch here.
If you saw me walking down the street, you wouldn't think anything different.
14-year-old Ryland Whittington is a typical Southern California teenager. And the Whittingtons, along with mom Hillary, dad Jeff, and sister Brinley, are a typical family. The only difference, though, in Ryland's eyes, is what this family can mean to the tens of thousands of kids under 18 who identify as transgender.
We put our story out there so people could see that like there's another family out there that is going through what we're going through, or there's another family who's proud of who they are.
Before Ryland could even speak, he managed to tell his parents that he is a boy.
I could just see that it wasn't him trying to be a brat. It was like painful. It was truly painful for him to have to wear feminine clothing and for us constantly telling him that you're a girl.
And unlike some trans kids, when Ryland came out at age 5, a few years later, he had the full support of his parents.
Initially, there was some pushback from us in trying to understand this.
We were confused like most people are. We thought that gender and sexuality were the same thing. It took us a while to figure out that those two things are different and that children actually do recognize their gender identity very young. Some of them, not all.
But they listened to Ryland and to Hillary's conservative faith.
For me, it's just a deep spiritual belief that you believe in God and he, created us the way he wanted us. Well, then yes, he created Ryland just the way he is.
And they listened to families. They met in support groups.
There was a father who was sitting across the table. He says, "You have no idea how lucky you are to be here," which kind of took me back. I didn't at that point consider myself lucky to be there. And he said, our child had displayed this gender dysphoria or this gender misalignment at the same age that Ryland has. And we didn't listen and we pushed back.
That pushback led that child to turn to self-harm as a teenager, which 60% of trans and non-binary kids engage in, according to the Trevor Project. More than 50% consider suicide.
That for me was the turning point. I didn't want to see Ryland go through that.
I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter. I guarantee that if we had pushed back and done what a lot of parents do, I don't think that we would have either one of the kids that you see before you here today.
Allowing him to live authentically and true to himself and be who he really feels like he is. When you get to know Ryland, you see just how proud and confident he is of himself.
Ryland's story got international attention in 2014 when a family YouTube video went viral. And Hillary has since written a book called Raising Ryland.
I never thought that I would be known for this as well as I am, but really, it's just a small part of who I am.
He just brushes things off his shoulders like it's fine. He moves on in his life, and he's just kind of think everything we've been through. He's just learned to do that, and he's really good at it. I could never do that.
30 seconds.
The Whittingtons believe sharing their story could make a lasting difference in another child's life, something they learned from that support group father nearly a decade ago.
I'm just here to make the ride smoother for others. You might be struggling right now, but we believe in you. This family, we might not know you, we might not know where you live, but, we understand you and we believe in you.
What extraordinary courage displayed by Ryland, his sister Brinley, father Jeff, and mom Hillary. I want to thank the Whittington family for speaking to us. It's not easy, particularly at a time when transgender issues have been politicized. People are afraid of what they do not understand, Dana. This family hopes their story will lead to more understanding, more acceptance, and ultimately more love. Dana.
Ryan Yanis for us. Thank you so much.
Very interesting story.
So
I find it very interesting. Very, very interesting.
I'm like, hello.
Now all of a sudden, Fox has gone woke. Plot twist. Fox has been woke the whole time.
They were so right. They went in a circle.
That's part of the thing. So when I saw this, I was astonished at how, there was one or two lines in there where I was like, but it's a conservative family. This was good.
Oh,
and here's the thing. That audience needed to see that.
They're not going to finish it. I guarantee they already turned it off.
Well, here's the fun part. So now we get to go through the retweets of this.
When they said at the end though, all these people are politicizing it, I'm like, y'all the people. Y'all are the people we talking about.
Literal network.
Y'all are the people.
So and then, hold on. And then in my head, I was like, oh, I mean, it's a very well-off looking white family, whatever. Of course, they let Fox come in because if it was a black family and Fox News said that they're coming over with some cameras, talk to your trans kid, I'd be like, no, I'm not giving you my address. Hell no.
Yeah.
Nope, you ain't coming around here. But they were just like, oh, come on in.
But you know what, though? But here's the thing.
We'll adopt them.
We'll adopt them.
We'll throw some burgers on. You like an IPA?
Whoever put this on there knew that is the optics of that family was the only thing that people would have a slightest chance of paying attention to as being normal, right?
I think if they were trying to co-opt it.
I also think. I think it's easy to assume dishonesty on their part, and I don't think you're wrong for. I don't think you're crazy for bringing that up. But just the odd part about it is that there was so little of that I would push back on. That coming if this was on Vox, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's Vox, fine. But this came from Fox News. This came from the same station that has Tucker Carlson. who
they
has
didn't
had
approve it. They just put it. They like put that one CD on, and that was on the CD.
Well, that's the funny part. So the
CD under the seat.
I'm going over some of the quick reaction while I look these up. Mark, what were your thoughts of that coming from Fox News?
Interesting, but it's kind of, I mean, you only showed me part of it. I haven't seen everything, or maybe the commentary behind any of the reporters there, so I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. So I'm not even sure how old that is. So
it's
interesting, but
a week old.
There's nothing to say. A week ago?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say about that. I honestly don't know what to say. And that goes back to honesty in the book. Like, if you don't know what to say, don't be afraid to say it. I'm not going to give you like a BS answer. I can't really do
That's so funny because like I'm on the same page as you. I'm like, I keep looking for the opposite of a silver lining, right? Because of considering the source here. But these are the quote tweets.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
I bet you they never have another trans kid ever on their network ever.
They had one a couple of days later. I was
about to say they're just going to keep reusing the same kids.
They had one a couple of days later on Tucker. Tucker must have gone real quick to find one who basically said, "I never should have gotten this surgery, and I want to kill myself now."
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
That.
But so some of the quote tweets on this, and I don't know why the quote tweets don't seem to be loading up for me here, but so I'm not going to worry about showing them to you, but I'll go over some of them here with you guys. Let's just put it this way. Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, they both called for this Brian Lannis guy to be immediately fired by Fox.
Are you kidding me?
No.
For that?
I could absolutely.
I can't. I mean, after this past election, they nearly fired people just because they announced Biden, and they just didn't have they had such a problem with that. So I can believe that. So they have a narrative to
dang.
I could have swore cancel culture came. I thought cancel culture was the left.
You said that's the thing with the Republicans is like I wouldn't say kind of the Republicans. It's part of the tit for tat of politics. You see some behavior on one side, the other side is going to adopt it. So I'm not always a big fan of that because I just feel like it's a lose-lose situation overall. But that's a reality. So when one side does it, you open the door for the other side to do it. So there's the whole two rights don't make a wrong thing. That's not really a thing in politics, from what I understand. So that doesn't work in practice. You're muted.
You're on mute, Dutch.
There we go. Some of the other comments are Fox is pushing propaganda. Never thought I am now canceling my Fox, whatever this is account. I will.
My Fox Premium Plus.
Yeah, my Fox Premium Plus, or that must be what that stands for, because I didn't know Fox had a premium.
I didn't know that either.
I just made it up. So,
but they
might be true.
They have. These people should be thrown in jail for the mental damage they're going to they're going to cause to their child.
Yeah, that's child abuse.
If you could convince people that not to be transgender, then you should do that. This video is garbage. This is like, look, for anybody who might be right wing watching this, do you really think that someone who is not trans is going to look at a trans person's life and the abuse they have to go through and the struggle? Like, we've had Amber on the show many times. She'll talk about like just the struggles through like puberty, and you're biologically one sex, but going through you're going through puberty of your biological sex, but you are cognitively of the other sex, right? Your gender is the other sex. That's insufferable for people. Why would someone just wake up one morning and say, I really want to live that life. I really want to, I don't feel like I'm oppressed enough. I want to be oppressed and shamed and looked at funny and have people throw drinks at me and not get promoted at work and, and go through mental anguish and might have to have some sort of cognitive issues because of the fact that, I'm taking all this abuse, or I have to take these hormones, or whatever the case may be. Nobody would ever sign up for that.
And it's mad expensive.
I was just gonna say that costs a lot from an early age.
So I just found it super, super crazy that came from Fox News. So I thought it was worth sharing it.
Well, I mean, did you see the one that they had the other day with the guy who got fired from Google because he apparently created an algorithm that's self-aware, that has feelings, apparently? Yeah, that got swept under the rug with the Roe decision. With the Dobbs decision, the one that overturns Roe. So I don't know if you caught into that one. That I think is interesting.
That one I did not see. What was it basically about?
Basically, Google created an algorithm, and this engineer was a big part of that. And apparently, this algorithm, it's like a computer that you can have a conversation with. And apparently, it basically told him that it has feelings, which basically means it's self-aware, like the Terminator type stuff, like Skynet, where it's like alive, basically. Apparently, they're alleging that this system has indeed become self-aware or alive.
Turn it
I don't
off.
know how true that is.
And it's giving iRobot.
Turn it off. Unplug it.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. Because he got fired, and honestly, looking at the quoted text, I was like, that seems like they wrote it on an Exodus sketch or something. But I don't know. It's the story they're running with. But I think that's a whole different topic here about the singularity when technology, when Skynet type stuff actually becomes a thing. But that's interesting. So
that's why I've been thanking Siri every time she tells me a direction.